Have you ever played a game of Spot the Difference? Two pictures almost identical, but hidden somewhere are subtle changes. Can you find them all? It's a fun challenge, it makes you think quickly. This simple game tells us a lot about our brains. Our eyes see the world. Our brain processes the information. It happens in a flash. We make decisions based on what we see. Sometimes these decisions need to be fast. Think about crossing a busy street. You see cars coming. You judge their speed and distance. You make a decision to walk or wait. All in a matter of seconds. This is your brain's incredible power of perception and quick thinking in action. Spotting differences isn't just a game, it's a skill we use every day. Whether we realize it or not, we're constantly comparing, contrasting, and making judgments based on visual information. It's how we navigate the world around us. Our brain is like a super detective, it loves to solve puzzles. When we look at two similar images, our brain gets to work. It scans every detail. It compares shapes, colors, and patterns. It searches for anything out of place. This process happens in different parts of the brain. The eyes send signals to the visual cortex. This is where the brain processes basic information like lines and edges. Then the information goes to other areas. These areas help us recognize objects and faces. When we spot a difference, our brain gets excited. It's like finding the missing piece of a puzzle. This feeling of reward keeps us engaged. We want to find more differences. This is our brain's way of learning and adapting to the world. The more we challenge our brains with these visual puzzles, the better they become at processing information quickly and accurately. It's like training our brains to be sharper and more observant. Spotting differences isn't just about seeing, it's about thinking too. We use our past experiences and knowledge to help us find the changes. For example, if we see a picture of a kitchen, we know that a frying pan doesn't belong in the refrigerator. Our brain uses logic and reasoning to make sense of the world. It helps us filter out unimportant information and focus on what matters. When we spot a difference, we're not just seeing with our eyes. We're seeing with our brains. This process of seeing, thinking, and deciding happens incredibly fast. Sometimes we make decisions in the blink of an eye. This is our intuition at work. It's our brain's way of making quick judgments based on limited information. While intuition can be helpful, it's important to remember that it's not always accurate. That's why it's important to train our brains to be more observant and to think critically about the information we're taking in. Remember those picture puzzles from your childhood? Hidden pictures, spot the difference games, and optical illusions. These weren't just fun distractions. They were secretly training your brain. These games are like mini workouts for your visual perception skills. They teach you to pay attention to detail, they help you recognize patterns, and they make you think outside the box. Even video games can sharpen your visual reflexes. Action games especially require you to react quickly to changing environments and make split-second decisions. Think about racing games or first-person shooters. They demand fast thinking and precise hand-eye coordination. Playing these games can actually improve your reaction time and your ability to track multiple objects at once. It's like cross-training for your brain. So the next time you pick up a game controller, remember that you're not just having fun, you're giving your brain a workout. Like any skill, improving your visual perception takes practice. The more you challenge yourself, the better you'll become at spotting those subtle differences. And the good news is, there are plenty of fun ways to practice. Make it a habit to observe your surroundings. Next time you're walking down the street, pay attention to the details. What color are the houses? What kind of cars are driving by? You might be surprised by how much you've been missing. Another great exercise is to look at photographs and try to recreate them from memory. Take a picture of a simple object like a bowl of fruit and study it for a minute. Then put the picture away and try to draw the bowl and the fruit from memory. You can also challenge yourself with online puzzles and brain games. There are countless websites and apps dedicated to improving your visual perception and cognitive skills. Many of these games are designed to be fun and engaging, so you'll hardly even realize you're working out your brain. The key is to be consistent with your practice. Just like any workout, the more you put in, the more you'll get out. So make it a habit to flex those visual muscles every day. You might be thinking, okay, spotting differences in pictures is fun and all, but how does it help me in real life? You'd be surprised. These skills are used by everyday heroes all the time. Think about doctors examining X-rays. They need to spot tiny fractures or abnormalities to make a diagnosis. Or air traffic controllers tracking dozens of planes on their screens. They rely on sharp visual perception to keep our skies safe. Even musicians reading sheet music use these skills. They need to process a lot of information at once: notes, rhythms, dynamics, and translate it into beautiful music. These are just a few examples of how visual perception plays a crucial role in many professions. But it's not just about specialized jobs. These skills are important for everyone, in all aspects of life. Whether we're driving a car, crossing the street, or simply interacting with others, our ability to perceive and process visual information quickly and accurately can make a world of difference. While being quick on the draw is important, it's also crucial to be accurate in our judgments. Sometimes our brains can play tricks on us, leading us to see what we expect to see, rather than what's actually there. This is where critical thinking comes in. It's not enough to simply spot a difference. We need to be able to analyze the information and make sure our observations are correct. Think about eyewitness testimonies in court cases. We often hear about cases where eyewitnesses get things wrong, even when they're confident in their memories. This is because our memories are not always reliable, and our perceptions can be influenced by a variety of factors. That's why it's so important to be aware of our own biases and to approach situations with a critical eye. Don't just jump to conclusions based on your first impression. Take the time to gather all the facts and consider different perspectives before making a judgment. Remember, our brains are powerful tools, but they're not perfect. By being aware of their limitations and practicing critical thinking, we can improve our ability to make accurate judgments and avoid costly mistakes. Believe it or not, being good at spotting differences can actually help you build stronger relationships with others. When you pay attention to the small details, you show people that you care about them and that you're truly listening to what they have to say. Think about a time when someone noticed a subtle change in your appearance, maybe a new haircut or a new piece of jewelry. Didn't it make you feel good that they were paying attention? It's a small gesture, but it can go a long way in building rapport and trust. The same principle applies in professional settings. When you're attentive to detail and able to spot inconsistencies, you come across as more credible and trustworthy. People will be more likely to take you seriously and value your opinions. Of course, this doesn't mean you need to point out every little flaw you notice in others. The key is to be observant and to use your powers of perception to connect with people on a deeper level. By paying attention to the details, both big and small, you can build stronger relationships, both personally and professionally. In a world that's constantly bombarding us with information, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and miss the subtle but important details. That's why cultivating the power of observation is more important than ever. When you train your brain to be more observant, you're essentially sharpening your focus and improving your ability to filter out distractions. This allows you to see things that others might miss and to make connections that would otherwise go unnoticed. Think about Sherlock Holmes, the fictional detective known for his extraordinary powers of observation. He could solve the most baffling mysteries by noticing tiny clues that others overlooked. While we may not all be aspiring detectives, we can all benefit from adopting a more observant mindset. It's about being present in the moment, paying attention to our surroundings and engaging all of our senses. By honing our powers of observation, we can unlock a world of hidden wonders and gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So, there you have it. Spotting differences isn't just a fun game. It's a valuable skill that can benefit you in all areas of life. By training your brain to be more observant, you can improve your decision-making, build stronger relationships, and navigate the world with greater confidence. Remember, practice makes perfect. So keep challenging yourself with those spot the difference puzzles, play those brain-boosting games, and don't forget to take the time to really see the world around you. You might be surprised by what you discover when you start paying attention. Keep your eyes peeled and keep those brains sharp.